Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Usually on this channel I try to work ahead and get videos made in advance. So this video was made before the big official stream revealing cards from Tarkir Dragonstorm. But Tarkir is coming, and to celebrate the diversity of dragons, we're going to spend this week building dragon decks. Every day we'll have one video with a dragon-themed deck that fits into one of the 5 commander brackets. Leading today's bracket 4 deck is Miirym Sentinel Wyrm. As a reminder, Game Changer cards are not exactly budget. Most of them hover around $50 in value. Therefore, this will not be a budget deck. Also, and I know it's annoying to keep hearing this, but statistically if I don't ask you to like and subscribe, the video gets fewer subscribers. Miirym Sentinel Wyrm is a 6-mana 6/6 legendary dragon spirit with flying and ward 2. Additionally, whenever another non-token dragon enters the battlefield under our control, we create a copy that's a token of it, except the token isn't legendary if that dragon is legendary. Miirym is the boogeyman of commander decks. Copying dragons, one of the strongest creatures not only in Magic but in fantasy literature, is insanely powerful. What's better than a Niv Mizzet Perun? 2 Niv Mizzet Peruns. And what's better than that? How about 3 or 4 Niv Mizzets? Easy with our token doublers. But before we get to our deck list, a quick word from our sponsor, Ultimate Guard. Ultimate Guard is made famous by their boulders, solid, reliable, and affordable deck boxes. Boulders are now available in solid colors like this beautiful green one seen here. Find out if your local game store carries the new Ultimate Guard solid color boulders, or click the link down below to order yourself one from Amazon. In order to build a functional commander deck, you need lots of different pieces, which is why I try to rely on my handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Oh, one more quick announcement before we get started. I'm currently streaming with my son over on Gaming with Danon as well as Twitch. It'll mostly be Final Fantasy XIV, but you're more than welcome to pop in and talk about Commander. Honestly, about half my streams are talking about manga, anime, or Commander. Our land base consists of Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Ancient Tomb, Misty Rainforest, Scalding Tarn, Wooded Foothills, Windswept Heath, Flooded Strand, Bloodstained Mire, Ketria Triome, Breeding Pool, Steam Vents, Stomping Ground, Rejuvenating Springs, Training Center, Spire Garden, Dreamroot Cascade, Stormcarved Coast, Rockfall Vale, Hinterland Harbor, Sulphur Falls, Rootbound Crag, Hedge Maze, Thundering Falls, Commercial District, Scavenger Grounds, 5 forests, 3 islands, and 3 mountains. Simple and effective, just like lands should be. For mana ramp, we've got Cursed Mirror, Old Gnawbone, Ganax Astral Hunter, Ancient Copper Dragon, Clouth Unrivaled Ancient, Chrome Mox, Soul Ring, Dragon's Horde, Sarkhan Fireblood, Azusa Lost But Seeking, Dryad of the Elysian Grove, Burgeoning, Exploration, Crucible of Worlds, Conduit of Worlds, and Ramanup Excavator. Yes, that is a lot of mana ramp. Dragons are expensive after all. Also, if you missed my video last week explaining the math behind how many cards you need to draw to fully utilize Azusa, don't worry. Suffice it to say, playing extra lands per turn combined with fetch lands that can be played from the graveyard is insane, and if you have the budget for it, I highly recommend running this ramp package. Our card advantage package consists of Temur Ascendancy, Ancient Silver Dragon, Garruk's Uprising, Jeska's Will, Rhystic Study, The One Ring, Mystical Tutor, Worldly Tutor, Return of the Wild Speaker, Kindred Discovery, Sylvan Library, and Mystic Remora. Lots of ways to dig through our deck and find our dragons. For interaction and spot removal, we've got Heroic Intervention, Fierce Guardianship, Force of Will, Beast Within, Deflecting Swat, Negate, Counterspell, Mana Drain, Force of Negation, Arcane Denial, Abrade, Chaos Warp, and Nature's Claim. Lots of ways to keep our opponents in line. Our board wipes consist of Cyclonic Rift and Blasphemous Act. Not as many as we usually run in Dragon decks, but that's fine. This deck can win regardless of what our opponents are doing. The core of our deck consists of Hellkite Charger, Astral Dragon, Scourge of Valkus, Terror of the Peaks, Lathless Dragon Queen, Udvara Hellkite, Thrakkus the Butcher, Wrathful Red Dragon, and Twin Flame Tyrant. Supporting our plan, we've also got Parallel Lives, Doubling Season, Primal Vigor, Rider Replication, Deadeye Navigator, Reflections of Litjara, Spark Double, Ghostly Flicker, Lightning Greaves, and Swiftfoot Boots. Lots of ways to close out the game. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our checklist. 53 mana sources, but between 37 lands and 16 pieces of ramp. High, I know, but a good chunk of our ramp are dragons, and we have a couple that also serve as card advantage. Speaking of which, 14 pieces of card advantage, 13 pieces of interaction, 2 board wipes, 1 piece of graveyard hate in Scavenger Grounds, 1 sudden I win card in Rider Replication. Rider Replication, when kicked and targeting either Terror of the Peaks or Scourge of Valkus, ends the game on the spot. Allow me to explain. Let us assume that Terror of the Peaks is the only dragon on our board. We cast a Rider Replication with Kicker, targeting Terror of the Peaks. This deals 125 damage divided as we choose, so long as it is in increments of 5. Allow me to explain. Rider Replication, when kicked, creates 5 copies of the targeted creature. Each of those creatures enters at the same time. The original Terror of the Peaks sees all 5 of them enter. 5 times 5 is 25. The 5 new token copies each see the other 4 token copies. 4 times 5 times 5, or 100. 100 plus 25 is 125. This can also work with Scourge of Valkus, but we need a few more dragons on board for it to win on the spot. Remember, all the copies see the other copies enter, which increases the damage dealt. But honestly, the meanest combos in this deck involve Astral Dragon. We can go infinite with Cursed Mirror, creating hasty copies of Astral Dragon and the tokens Astral Dragon creates. We can create an absurd number of copies of Doubling Season, or any of our token doubling cards. And when I say absurd, I'm talking we need to break out scientific notation to understand how many copies we made. Or we've got the good old combination of Hellkite Charger and Old Gnawbone. We are dragons after all, we can just win by making treasure and beating our opponents to death over and over again. Do you have a Miirym deck? What about a Bracket 4 deck? What's your secret deck? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. You can have a video made or just ask for help building or tuning a deck list. I also want to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons. Waffles, Jiraiya, Muffins, Marcus, Brett, Roxy, Alix, Borgie, Nazwin, Conga, Chris, Robert, William Pye, Kazaris, Booksu, Patrick, Tiz, Art, Richard, Sint, Boomy, Jackie, Finn, Zen, Osira, Justin, and Christian. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander Deck videos every weekday, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.